Thank you, Elise. And good morning, everyone. Americans are struggling to pay for groceries, rent, and gasoline. The border is wide open, and fentanyl is killing our kids. Chinese spy balloons are floating over America. And what does the Biden administration do? That's so important. He has a war against gas stoves. In February, the Department of Energy proposed a rule that, according to a DOE report and other studies, will eliminate 100% of freestanding gas stoves and 96% of gas stove cooktops that are currently available on the market today. That's outrageous. That is why I introduced the Save Our Gas Stoves Act to block this radical, out-of-touch rule that eliminates the types of stoves and features of stoves that consumers like. I am grateful to Speaker McCarthy, Leader Scalise, Conference Chair Stefanik, Energy and Commerce Chair McMorris Rogers, my Republican colleagues, a growing number of my Democratic colleagues, the Association of Home Appliance Manufacturers, National Association of Home Builders, the American Gas Association, the American Public Gas Association, and the Arizona Restaurant Association for their support. Let's protect consumer choice. Let's save our gas stoves. And now I'd like to yield to my colleague, John James.
Good morning, friends. This is crazy news. The Treasury Department is now facing some big issues after a debt limit battle between Republicans and Democrats. The federal government is expected to borrow about $1 trillion by the end of September. This will affect millions of Americans. Experts say to expect interest rates and monthly expenses to also increase. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to hear about all of these details. Also, in a video later today, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, my friends, all you'll need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, my friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. The United States narrowly avoided a default when President Biden signed legislation that allowed the Treasury Department permission to borrow more money to pay the nation's bills. So now the Treasury is starting to build up its reserves, and the coming borrowing binge could present complications that rattle the economy. The government is expected to borrow about $1 trillion by the end of September. That steady state of borrowing is set to pull cash from banks and other lenders into Treasury securities. This will drain money from the financial system and amplify the pressure on regional lenders. Given how many other financial assets are tied to the current interest rate, higher borrowing costs for the government also raise costs for banks, companies, and other borrowers. Many policymakers have indicated that they may opt to take a break from raising rates when the central bank meets next week. This is in order to assess how policy has so far impacted the U.S. economy. However, the Treasury's cash rebuild could undermine that decision because it could push borrowing costs higher regardless. That could in turn exacerbate worries among many investors that flared up in the spring over how higher interest rates had eroded the value of assets held at small and medium-sized banks. The cash balance at the Treasury Department's general account fell by $40 billion last week as lawmakers raced to reach an agreement to increase the nation's borrowing cap. The legislation that Biden signed on Saturday suspends a $31.4 trillion debt limit until January 2025. For months, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has been using accounting maneuvers known as extraordinary measures to delay a default. Those included suspending new investments in retirement funds for postal workers and civil servants. Restoring those investments is essentially a simple accounting fix. But refilling the government's cash coffers is more complicated. The Treasury Department said on Wednesday that it hoped to borrow enough money to rebuild its cash account to $425 billion by the end of June. It will need to borrow much more than that to account for planned spending. The amount you receive in Social Security is based on two factors: your earnings record and the age at which you file for benefits. But the amount you receive is not fixed for life. Every year, the Social Security Administration adjusts payments based on the rate of inflation. If you're already receiving a benefit, your payout will not change until the next year's COLA is announced. As of December 2022, the average Social Security payment for retirees was $1,681. This jumped up to $1,825 for January 2023, and that was thanks to the cost of living adjustment. There is no way of predicting with accuracy the amount of the average Social Security payment in the summer months of 2023. However, based on the monthly trend from January to April of this year, a decent estimate for that number would be about $1,889. Social Security benefits are most often associated with payments to retired workers. While those make up the vast majority of the tens of millions the Social Security Administration issues each month, retirees are not the only ones. Disabled individuals and survivors also receive income from the agency, as well as low-income individuals that qualify for supplemental security income. For certain people in the later group of recipients, they will see an increase in their monthly checks starting in June. This increase is targeted at low-income recipients, as well as care providers, with the goal of supplementing the federal payment. It is important to know that because it is a supplement administered by state entities, the amount varies from state to state. For example, in New York, the additional payment is $87, while in Alabama, that figure is around $120. But with inflation falling throughout 2023, Social Security recipients should expect that their COLA for next year will be significantly lower than in 2023, and perhaps even lower than what they received in 2022. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway in a video later today. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, all you'll need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, my friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed Friday.